And welcome back to another edition of Wrestling is Trash, a nonsensical podcast where we talk about professional wrestling, past, present, and quite possibly the future. We got a crew with us here today, and we got one unfamiliar face that's joined us here on the show today. And as it is tradition, after I get this other shit out of the way, we got Nick Anicelli. Look at that. First time, Nick. First time. Boom. You got my man Brian representing the UWO down here in the corner.
What's happening, everybody?
And sir, our new guest, as it is tradition, you have a New Japan 20 count to introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are and how you became a fan of professional wrestling. And your 20 count starts now.
What's going on, everybody? It's Narcolepsy Boy 94 from TikTok. Most people know me from TikTok, aka Malik. Glad to be here as a guest. Appreciate talking wrestling with a lot of people. And man, I've been a wrestling fan since I was about 6-7 years old. Fell in love with it during the Ruthless Aggression Era time days. I don't really remember like how exactly I fell in love with it, but it was right around that, like 2004-ish, was around that time when I really started watching it heavily. So ever since then, I've just been hooked ever since.
Word.
I have one question.
You actually don't have a 20 count, but I mean that's just what we say here.
I was trying to follow the rules.
Sorry, we're flexible. We're like AEW.
Hey man, this is a rogues gallery of motherfuckers. We do what we want around here. You can break the rules all goddamn day. I'm probably making all kind of microphone noises.
So I have one question for you before we start. How old are you?
24.
12.
Hey, I'm not the young buck for a change.
Way to go, Nick.
So I always get,
24.
I guess you would say, roasted around here because I started watching the Attitude Era, like 98, 99. Because I'm 28.
Oh, yeah, I started watching. I was born during the Attitude Era, so I didn't really watch the Attitude Era live during its day. So I didn't get to experience that.
Yeah,
Rob, they're trying to make us feel old.
Yeah,
for real, right?
You were around the same time frame pretty much as me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so they old. So don't mind that.
Oh, so these guys, they're from different generations. It's all good, though. It's all good, though.
We're just in a different bracket. I mean, we leveled up in the game a couple more levels than y'all. That's what that is. Well, word. We're here to talk Money in the Bank. And ever so briefly, yesterday we got on here. We talked about Slammiversary 2021. Gentlemen, y'all put eyeballs on the show Slammiversary last night. Nick, let me get your thoughts real quick.
I did a little bit. Like I said yesterday, not a huge Impact guy, but I came to talk it. It was pretty good. We got some things right. We got some things way off. But overall, that was a pretty good show from what I peeped.
Mr. Bryant.
I enjoyed the show a lot. I thought it was fun. I thought the surprises could have been bigger, but I kind of liked the No Way Jose appearance, since we can't really.
I was like, no way.
That one kind of shocked me because I wasn't expecting that one. He's been out for a while now. The Mickey James thing, we kind of threw it out there.
We knew that. We
knew something was going to come up with Mickey, so Mickey wasn't too big of a surprise. And then B-Rob's boy at the end of the night showing up was a total surprise. So I was really shocked about that one. But overall, Impact, good job. And the exhibition match killed it like they usually do.
Yeah, and then we can't gloss over the fact that out of the people that did show up, Thunder motherfucking Rosa.
Yes.
Boy,
it wasn't even thinking about that one.
She looked real good.
Always.
And I ain't gonna even say half-heartedly. I almost wholeheartedly thought she was gonna come here and take the strap and just leave that bitch because it's not out of the realm of possibility. Why is she not signed to a motherfucking company? But she making that bread though per appearance. So
maybe that's why.
It's probably why. To be honest, she's probably just being flexible with their options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like my job. It's like I can kill it in getting all these overtime hours and shit. Or I can move up and be management and shit and just kind of get a salary. But I was like, I'm killing it in the motherfucking overtime.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And you already got another source of income anyway, so why not?
Yeah.
Valid point.
But I mean, I want more. I want to take my bank account to the moon. Whoa! Yeah!
I love that new sound drop, by the way.
But yeah, man. I dug it. Loved the Thunder Rosa shit. The Chelsea. I'm not hype about Chelsea or whatever, but it's good for her as a person that needs income and loves the sport of professional wrestling. That's cool. Awesome. You got to do things with your boyfriend and shit.
Honestly, I've never been a Chelsea Green fan. Even Laura and Ness never did nothing for me. But it was cool. It was a cool surprise.
Yeah, but motherfucking Switchblade Jay White, boy, boy, man, I had my gun on my hip. I wanted to shoot some shots in the air and shit. I was like, bow, bow. That's that boy.
That's my guy right there.
But
besides him, besides Naito, because Naito's my favorite in New Japan, Jay White was my second.
Yeah, I when the Bullet Club logo came up, I thought the fucking Gorillas of Destiny was gonna come out.
That was my first thought too.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was, because they notorious for talking shit online and saying that they're gonna pop up somewhere and never really do. Mm-hmm. But even then, when Jay White came out, I thought he was gonna get in the ring or whatever. He was gonna talk shit. It looked like they was gonna jump him. Then the Gorillas was gonna come out and jump them other motherfuckers. So I was holding out hope. But all in all, Slammiversary was a decent show. Moose need to start talking at a normal cadence. Ooh. I said it, but
I don't know what the fuck happened to Moose yesterday, man. I was in shock. I was like, how the hell you lose this match?
Yeah, there must be more.
There's got to be more to the story.
Yeah, there's got to be more. This dude just signed a motherfucking contract with this company, so
and then loses the Chris Sabin,
the Alex Sabin. But anyway, let's get into motherfucking Money in the Bank. Nick, do you have the card up or?
Yeah, I can pull it up right now. 10 seconds. I'll say this:
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 350, 2, 1.
And I got it. And I got it. No, I'll say before. Well, I'm pretty excited for tonight, not just because of fans being back and all that. You know, there's going to be surprises, but it's a good card. We got a lot going on tonight. So the first one we got, which I guess I want your guys' opinion, all of your opinions on this. So I've been talking kind of internally about it, maybe briefly with Rob, but I was for sure thinking this pre-show match was going to be at SummerSlam. The Usos going after Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Maybe they'll run it back at SummerSlam. I personally thought it was going to be at SummerSlam. Crazy that this one's on the kickoff show and not the Raw one with the Viking Raiders and AJ Styles and Omos. Maybe because they just want more eyes on that one. And maybe they want this on the pre-show because it's going to be on SummerSlam. But I'm torn.
You know why it's on the pre-show?
Because Jimmy got in trouble.
Yeah, because of Jimmy's post-show.
Yeah. Me personally, I think Ray and Dom drop titles tonight.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think I'm going to go with the Usos. And historically, whenever one of the Usos get in trouble, they get the straps.
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber 2019 or Fastlane, whatever it was. I think Jimmy got his last DUI then, got the strap. So I'm going to think tradition's going to follow suit. Usos going to get it, and that's how they're going to end. That's how they're going to end Raw. I mean, Money in the Bank, and then on SmackDown they might just go the same route, just with maybe Cena and the Mysterio. So I'm going to go with the Usos here. What you guys got?
Brian? I have to agree with Nicholas. I have to go with the Usos on this one. Like Nick said, you know, for the majority of superstars that work for WWE, whenever you get in trouble outside of the company, you're usually getting punished. But you got to remember, Jimmy's in a main storyline right now on SmackDown. And with all due respect to the Mysterios, they've done 0.0 with those titles. The storyline makes more sense if the quote-unquote bloodline had all the belts. So for me, going into SummerSlam, I have to go with the Usos winning tonight.
What you got, my man?
I don't see them winning the straps tonight. I think they're going to win it at SummerSlam. I can't see them winning on the pre-show. I think SummerSlam is going to have a bigger environment with bigger stakes, and there's going to be. I think SummerSlam is when the bloodline all officially comes together, when they get all the straps and everything. So, for this to be on the pre-show, it's the only reason I don't see them dropping the title. I think SummerSlam they'll have a rematch of some sort, maybe with the stipulation or something. I don't know, but I think SummerSlam maybe like. I don't know, they get a rematch, you know, Roman says something like you guys need to step it up, or, you know, some goes on within that storyline, and then the Usos, maybe they just, I don't want to say change a little bit, but maybe they just be a little bit more different, a little bit more violent or something, you know, in their matches to take the straps from the Mysterios, because the Mysterios, like you said, haven't done really anything with the titles, and that's not really like their booking wise. I mean, they haven't they won titles and they haven't been on TV that much since they've been the champion. I don't think they've even defended them yet since they've been the champion. So, just for me, I can't see them dropping the titles on a pre-show because, like, who really? Very variety of fans watch the pre-show. I know I don't. I don't watch pre-shows. I just watch the main card. So, I can't see them dropping the titles on a pre, especially with a match like that. You have brothers versus father and son. Like, that's something you would want to see on a main card.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Nah, see, I'm gonna throw an interesting wrinkle on there. Well, at least I think it's interesting and whatnot. I mean, they haven't really indicated too much in the actual storyline, but I kind of feel like, and I'm sticking with tradition. They got in trouble, so they're gonna win the straps. But in some kind of way, them getting the belts and maybe Roman losing his belt, it makes them look at a different way at Roman, and it kind of shuffles that dynamic around. So now they the two with the titles, and Roman ain't got nothing. So it's like shit talk between them, or I kind of see that kind of happening, or could have the possibility of happening. I like that idea. And then there's just like maybe they have ulterior motives to where, like, Jimmy was very hesitant and resistant to the idea of being a part of the tribal chiefs table and all this other crap. So maybe it was a ploy to get in good with him, get him comfortable and shit, and then stab him in the back when he ain't looking, So the titles might be the catalyst for that.
I think whoever wins, loses, this is definitely going to be shenanigans. So
yeah,
definitely shenanigans here.
Yeah, and then
Nick loves shenanigans.
Oh yeah, and then
shenanigans kind of guy.
We talk about this being on the pre-show. I mean, yeah, we don't look favorable on it, but they gonna have a live motherfucking crowd. So might be trying to hype them up before the kick off. Oh, we saw a title change already. What's gonna happen next? Shenanigans. This is what's gonna happen. So what we got next on the card?
Sticking with tag team, you got the Raw tag team title, the Viking Raiders versus AJ Styles and Omos. I'm just gonna go AJ. They're gonna win because I think you guys might agree, disagree. I think it's gonna start for RK Bro at SummerSlam. I think it's probably gonna be a banger of a match. To be honest, the Viking Raiders can go. We all know that. Still wish they were the War Raiders. I'll always say that. But yeah, they're gonna retain it. I just hope Big Man shows out good tonight because I want to see him do well.
Word. What you got, Brian?
Originally, I wanted to go with the Viking Raiders experience, War Machine, Hanson, whatever. Yeah. But I don't know why. I do have a funny feeling that AJ and Almost are going to keep the titles. Again, another situation in which the tag team champions have 0.0 to do and have done nothing. So I would, if I was WWE personally, I would take the titles off of them and actually put it on a tag team. But then again, it's WWE. So we all know what's going to happen. Most likely, AJ and Almost will keep the belts and they'll keep it till SummerSlam because Almost is a draw in their eyes, being this 6'7" or 7'6", whatever monster dude.
9.2.
Yeah, for real, like this huge monster dude. So I could totally see them keeping the belts on AJ and Almost for this one.
Word. And, it would purely be to hype it up for the next people who are going to take the strap off of them or whatever. Because I would rather see a big SummerSlam match, with, a great tag team that they built up, take it off them at SummerSlam if that's going to be the case. But the Viking Raiders Experience Machine is a good tag team. So they could be that tag team holding it down at motherfucking SummerSlam. Because, especially Big Hanson, man. It's just like that bitch getting there and do a cartwheel and the fucking crowd go and lose their shit.
Yeah, that's true, too. I hate that AJ's in this tag team. I just don't like it. It just bothers me. I just don't want to see him in the tag team at all. He's much better in the singles run as a main eventer. They put him with Omos, but I don't really see them doing anything with Omos. Even when they split up the tag team, they're not going to do nothing with him. Last real monster we thought they were going to do something with was Braun Strowman, and he was really over at one point, and they still messed that up. So they ain't do nothing with Braun Strowman. They definitely not going to do something with Omos because Braun Strowman is 10 times better than Omos. So I just don't like this team at all. I really, really just don't like the AJ's in this tag team. It bothers me so much. I just wish they would just drop the titles already and just. There's so many things you could do better with AJ. Like I really hope that they drop the titles and then when the draft comes, they move him back to SmackDown so he can be on SmackDown again because he was the shit on SmackDown. So
I was really, and I'm just like you. I agree 100%. I hate AJ. The only reason I liked it is because he became a Grand Slam champion now with that, which I was all about. I was really.
But even if you're gonna do that, like, why put him? You put him somebody, at least somebody he could be at least a good partner or something. You know what I'm saying something that's because at first, when they put the team together, I was like, okay, like they're obviously
Braun Strowman and Nicholas. That's what it was.
They're obviously doing this to get to help out Omos, okay, but like let's see where it goes. But they haven't done anything with this team. They won the titles at WrestleMania. They were off TV for like a month, and they just haven't done anything with this team. So like it's all just pointless to me. So I'd rather just. I do agree with you. Eventually, I think RK Bro is going to win at SummerSlam. Because they're definitely going to be the tag team champions at some point. They're already getting over, and fans are going to be back now, so they're probably going to get more over with the fans and everything. So I'm just going to say AJ and Omos, just because I just don't really see them dropping the belts right now. But hopefully, I just hope that when they drop them, that they kind of just because they always do things like they'll drop something and like we're supposed to forget about it. I kind of hope this is one of those things like they just drop the titles and then the tag team just never existed.
And shit, I wouldn't be opposed to them even just like maybe retaining here at Money in the Bank, and then Raw is going to be in front of their first live crowd. They lose it on Raw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could even be better.
Shit, you know what? They might even just run it back with the fucking Viking War Raiders experience on Raw, and they win it there
again.
Yo, we got the villain in the house. Here's Pop.
That's something they would definitely do. That's something they definitely do because they always do rematches like consistently, weekly by week. So
you mean Raw Rewind?
Yeah,
exactly. They can do that consistently. So
I'm so Rob.
I just really don't like AJ in this tag. It just I don't know. Just tag team.
Yeah, I think we all agree.
Yeah, on the topic of almost though, they have so many better mobile, agile big men, but since he has that height, they trying to make a star, I guess. Yeah,
it would have been better if they just kept him as like the bodyguard.
And then even that point, he got over because he was surrounded by good people. He was like he was in a good environment for that. He was
if he just stayed as the bodyguard, Shane McMahon, I would have. You could have had him just be the bodyguard and just have AJ do like have AJ be a heel and kept having AJ be pushed, win matches and everything like that. But like the whole tag team thing, man, it's just like, come on, man, like this tag team is just like. Right, so they haven't really done anything with AJ Styles in a minute too. It kind of upsets me. They really need
two things before we get to that. One, you can tell they're big on Omos because one little thing I noticed. Well, big. But they try spotlighting him whenever they can. Here's an example. Like, I don't know if you follow, I'm assuming you probably all follow The Rock on Instagram. I don't know if you remember like last year when he posted like the 8-minute video of him at the PC for the day, like talking about his daughter signing. Who was in the video? Omos. When they did Taker during the last ride, showing him working with the big man, they had him there. I feel anytime they can spotlight that dude, they do. But I guess one thing I wanted to do, I should have asked before. So I guess Malik, for you. Who are you really into right now in the current product? What storylines you really in with the current product, and what are you not into? I guess when we go into these, we kind of know like your point of view, where you're at with everything.
Oh, I'm definitely not into the AJ tag team. Hate it. Don't like it at all.
Sleeping on it.
I don't like Rhea Ripley. I don't like Rhea champion right now. I'm a big fan of Rhea Ripley. I've been a big fan of her since she was in the Mae Young Classic. She's one of my favorites in the division, but her reign has been terrible. I wish they would book that a lot better. Really into Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the shit right now. Everything he's done since he's been back has been spectacular.
The hair that is perpetually wet.
Everything he's done to me since he's been back has been nothing more than spectacular. He's literally carried that brand, if you ask me, since he's been back. I love the whole story with the man. That's dope. Bianca Belair, I'm digging her reign a little bit. I was really looking forward to her match with Bayley tonight, but Bayley got hurt and everything, so it's unfortunate that we don't get to see that again. Bobby Lashley too, man. I'm happy that Bobby Lashley's getting this title run, proper run. Because I for sure thought he was losing to Drew McIntyre himself. I was like, no way he beats Drew again. He beat Drew at WrestleMania. He's gonna beat him again. I said I like Drew McIntyre, but I was like, I just can't see them having Drew lose again. He lost again. So I'm like, oh shit, So maybe they really maybe they're really gonna give him a legit push. I think everybody at some point wants him versus Brock, to happen. So I mean, I think maybe they're trying to build him up enough where he's believed, because like people always express that match happening, but there were points in time where Bobby Lashley just wasn't believable enough, even close to being in that match. Like for me, if they're gonna have that match,
muscles on top of muscles too.
yeah, if Bobby was ever gonna be in that match, it would have to be believable enough where I would believe that Bobby Lashley legit can have a chance of beating Brock. Right now, he does though. He's at that point where I could, see them going and be like, okay, I could see it going either way, but. Hopefully they continue to build him up, man. Like I said, I'm surprised he even had it this long. I didn't think he was gonna have it.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna have it past WrestleMania. To be honest, I thought he was gonna lose at WrestleMania. I thought he was losing
Yeah.
Hell. I'm like, bro, I didn't think he was gonna have it this long. So I'm happy that he's getting this push. I just hope that whenever he loses it, they keep him in that main event picture. Because sometimes when people lose the belts, they get that title reign. All of a sudden, they're just back in the mid cards and just doing anything. You know what I mean? Because the first red flag for me is when they split up the Hurt Business, and I was like, you know what? He's losing at WrestleMania. They're already. That they're gonna ruin it, and then they've been really pushing him. So hopefully, he's supposedly he's gonna have this big match at SummerSlam. I don't know if you guys seen the rumors, so I don't want to say who it's against. I don't want to spoil
Yeah,
it.
please don't.
Nick.
Please don't.
Nick.
We will 1,000% get into that. All right,
Anyway.
so the next one, speaking of disappointing title reigns, I agree. Rhea Ripley for Charlotte. You got to think rumors again, but even if, I don't think it's a spoiler. I think we all have a really good mindset. We all understand where sometimes you can't hide it. Either today or tomorrow. I'm gonna go today. You got to assume Becky's probably coming back, right? Do we all agree on that?
Maybe.
So,
Possibly. There's been rumors about it.
Do you do the classic Charlotte and Becky, which they can have a great match? Or do you give Rhea and have Becky be the one? I'm going Rhea here. I just like Rhea personally. Besides that live performance at WrestleMania, that was awful by whoever does her theme. That was just awful in my opinion. I never got to express that because I was away when we talked Mania. But I'm not looking forward to this match at all. I probably can be good. I don't know. I don't know what you think, Brian, about what they've done with Rhea. I guess I want your opinions because I like usually what you say. But I'm going to go Rhea just because I'm over Charlotte. I've been over Charlotte for a while. I think she's amazing in the ring, but her continuously winning, I am over it. So I want Rhea. I don't know what you got, Brian, about.
Hit him with it, Brian.
Rhea Ripley has been a flop since the day she appeared on the main roster. With all due respect, and this is a conversation that we've had on our show quite a few times, it has 0.0 to do with her booking.
You love that.
It has all to do with her in the ring. She has had countless matches on Raw and on pay-per-views with the likes of Asuka, with the likes of Charlotte Flair, that have been horrible matches. Horrible. You mean to tell me I'm putting you in a ring with a woman like Asuka, who's considered one of the best wrestlers in the world? We have Charlotte Flair, who is a 13, 14, 15-time world champion on the way to beat her dad's record. It has all been on Rhea. Rhea was literally given the golden goose. You're getting the world title at WrestleMania. Run with it. And in that ring, she has been botching left and right. Horrible matches. Timing is off key. Her turns into... I'm using wrestling inside terms. Her dummy turns into opponents have been horrendous. This girl has been garbage since she's been called up on the main roster. Plus, she's feuding heel versus heel when we don't know who to cheer, who to boo. For fans that are still getting into the product and learning the product, don't know who to cheer for, who to boo for. This is a match like Nick said earlier. I don't care who wins. I'm to the point where I'm like, give the belt to Charlotte. Like I'm at that point. I'm just like, give the belt to Charlotte. Get this girl off my television. I'm sorry. She's been horrible from the jump. Don't get me wrong. Her NXT run was great. Her stuff in the Mae Young Classic was good. Her progression and evolution into this nightmare character has been great. But on the main roster, she's been a total and utter flop. I have a feeling she's not going to lose the belt because they're probably going to go Rhea versus Becky because people are going to complain about seeing Charlotte versus Becky again. So I see WWE giving or having Rhea keep the title for tonight. So unfortunately, my pick's going to Rhea.
Before we go, do you guys think they're doing the heel who we don't know who to make a face because Becky's clearly going to come in with whoever wins as the face?
Most likely.
Most likely, yeah. I mean, but I don't know. We live in this era today. Like heels and baby faces, it's not the same anymore, bro. Like they still have heels and baby faces, but it's like I think it doesn't really matter anymore in this era because people are gonna cheer who they want to cheer no matter what. If you're a baby face and they like you, they'll cheer you. If you're a heel and they like you, they'll cheer you. So I think it's just It's all just matters is, you know, what fans want, but
You don't get what you want, damn it.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's literally the problem.
I am gonna go with Rhea too, mainly because I think, you know, if Becky does come back tonight, which I think she could, I think she'll be the one to take it off her. You know, we could get Charlotte versus Becky again, but we've seen that for a million times, and they always have great matches. But it's like, you know, fans always want something different, and I think Rhea versus Becky could be, you know, that's definitely something different because we haven't seen it yet. So I just, you know, Charlotte. I love Charlotte too, but she's kind of like, you know, how Drew McIntyre was for a long time. She's always in the title picture, and just that always bothers me because I just feel like they never put her in storylines that don't involve the championship. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, people were always complaining about Triple H when he was in Evolution. He always had the world title because they never did storylines without him involving that.
Is a mystery.
You know what I mean? The Reign of Terror, they want to call it. They never put him in storylines that didn't involve the world titles. Okay, he can be the champion here and there, but like when he loses it, can we have storylines that don't involve him with the title for a little bit and then we can come back to it? That's why I'm happy Drew McIntyre isn't in the title picture right now because I actually like him, but they were pushing him in that title picture so hard it was kind of making me dislike him for a period of time. And I didn't like that. I was like, man, I really like him, but why does he keep getting title opportunities? He's losing. Why does he keep getting rematch after rematch after rematch, and he's still losing? That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you lose the belt, you can get a rematch, but if you lose again, you're getting beat by the same person over again. Why are you still getting rematches? That doesn't make any sense. Why can't you do a storyline for a little bit that doesn't even involve a championship, rebuild yourself, and then you can come back to the title? So hopefully they can do that with Charlotte because there's a lot of things I think they need to do in the women's division, especially on Raw. They definitely have to build new, fresh stars. You know, SmackDown, you know, right now they're getting Toni Storm, they got Shotzi Blackheart now, and Tegan Knox, and they also got Bianca. So Sasha Banks is going to come back soon at some point. Bayley's there, but she's injured right now, and so they got, you know, Liv Morgan who's getting steam, Selena Vega's on there now, so they got some good stars on SmackDown. For Raw though, you have to keep building up new stars because when they had Becky there, you know, the matches for a while were just Becky versus Charlotte or just Becky versus Asuka, it was the same. You got to build up fresh new stars for these people to face. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna have these people be the champion, you got to build up fresh new stars. You don't even have to win the title. You know, you can still lose matches and still be good about how you're booked afterwards. You know what I mean? So these people need new stars in the division that can help build stars for the future. So hopefully, you know, Becky versus Rhea is cool. I'm cool with that. Becky wins the title. Okay, cool. Because Rhea's gonna lose at some point. So even if she loses to Becky, I don't think it would hurt her anyway. But when Becky becomes champion, I don't want to keep seeing Becky versus Rhea and 4 pay-per-views in a row and rematches, and then Charlotte comes back and then we see her.
That's what you gonna get.
Spoiler alert.
It's not a spoiler.
And that's the worst thing about WWE. In the
So,
Ruthless
I tell
Aggression
you
era,
what, though.
Attitude era,
though.
all that, they always had like different storylines.
That's why those eras are so important because look at all the legends and Hall of Famers that come from those eras. You know, they focus on building new stars for the future. That's why those eras were so successful.
Yeah, and they did it out of necessity because all their big stars fucking left. What's Charlotte count right now? What's the title numbers?
So
She's in double digits. She's at like 10 or 13 or something like that, man.
What's she at? How many she got?
I don't know.
I think she's at 11 or 12.
Yeah, you gotta look it up because when they count her reigns on television, they count the 2 NXT ones and they throw the women's one in her account.
Yeah,
so I think right now they label her as a 13-time women's champion.
So,
but I
Charlotte
think
is
main
winning
roster, I think it's 10.
Charlotte is winning because if John Cena doesn't surpass Ric Flair's record, Charlotte Flair is going to surpass the record. I mean, I know it's it's the same, but it's different at the same time. But she will have the most title reigns when it's all said and done. And this is just another notch in her goddamn belt. That's all this is going to be. And it's going to be Becky versus motherfucking Charlotte because it's familiar, because it's a comfortable shoe. It's what you get whenever you take out the trash, whatever. It's your motherfucking slides that you put on your feet. And you just go walk out there real quick, put your trash out. And like, well, fuck it. Since I'm out here, I might as well get the keys and go to the store real quick with your slides on. It's comfortable as fuck. That's what this is going to be. Rhea Ripley. It'd be what it be. But
they got her at 10 times.
Yeah.
10 times? Okay.
Yeah.
So Brian,
they're counting the NXT one.
So Brian, let me ask you this.
What's up?
So I grew up, like I said, we know when I grew up. So Trish Stratus was big, pretty much the Ruthless Aggression era, we'll say, because she came up at the end of the Attitude Era. Trish seems like she was always in the title picture. and she
Yeah.
only won it 7 times compared to Charlotte's whatever.
Hmm.
Now, granted, Trish is beautiful. Trish was great in the ring. You know what I mean? But from you, I guess, like me, like I like Charlotte. I think you can't doubt what she does in the ring, but you get sick of seeing her.
Yeah,
With you, like, so I'm young.
a little bit.
I didn't, to be honest, I didn't care too much about women's wrestling because I was younger. You know what I mean? Like was Trish getting the treatment Charlotte gets now? Was Trish like, oh my God, she's the champ again, or she's in the title picture
Well, I mean,
again?
the
Now,
difference-
granted, there was less athletic women and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that too.
But was it annoying to continuously see Trish, like how people say that with Charlotte?
No, not at all.
No.
First off, with the Trish situation, whenever she lost the title, there was a gap, and they had other women experimenting with the belt. So whenever the belt came back to Trish, we were okay with it. So you had the Molly Hollies, you had the Ivories, you had the Jazz, you had the Jacquelines, you had the Victorias, you had those other names who all had runs with the title. So whenever Trish won a championship, it was an excitement because, you know, we had Ivory holding the belt hostage for a while. We had, like I said, Victoria taking the title for a little bit. Yes. You had the introduction of Mickie James coming in. Hell, you even had Ashley Massaro getting title shots. You know what I mean? So other people were getting shots during that period. So whenever Trish actually got the belt, it felt special. It was same. You could say the same thing about Lita as well. Whenever somebody else got that title, people actually got excited when Trish won it back. Plus, I think the fact that Trish was a babyface at that time and she was so hot that, you know, during that time period, it was more about, you know, the divas than it was about the actual wrestling when they actually had women wrestlers in there that could work compared to a woman like Trish who was still developing and learning and gaining her craft. Go back to Trish TNA the TNA portion of Trish with Test and Albert compared to the Trish you saw by the time she was retired. Two totally different people. So we saw the elevation of this woman and her in-ring ability get better and better and better and have better storylines and better matches with people compared to Charlotte, where it's like, oh, okay, the world title picture is open. We need someone to fill in. All right, we're throwing Charlotte in there and she's going to win.
Yeah. And then
it's a big difference.
And then everything is reversed now as far as progression in time. Then you didn't have an outlet to see these women. The only place you could see them was on WWE television. Now you can find them bitches on Instagram, Cameo, and all this other stuff like that. So it's just like, you know, it is what it is. It's just like, I see enough of her on my fucking Instagram feed. Then she on my TV and goddamn, then she had the goddamn ESPYs and all this stuff. It's like, I'm tired of seeing this motherfucker.
And please, someone take Andrade's phone. Every time y'all got sex, stop posting pictures on Instagram when you're done. All right? I don't need to see a sweaty Andrade and a sweaty Charlotte. That's right.
God! All right. So
what we got next?
Do you have anything? I was gonna say. So next, we were kind of on a little, I ran about it, but
do you want to get all the singles matches first before we take care of
I'm the big boys for the end.
Yeah, I'm doing the Money in the Bank last. So we got Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley. Here we go. Here's where we talk spoilers, and they get mad at me. So first off, I'm happy Kofi's kind of, I think, I would love to see another title reign. We never thought we'd even see a title reign with Kofi.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of feel Kofi can kind of maybe do what Dolph Ziggler does. Never win, but put him up there. But I'm cool with that. If Kofi's that guy where it's like,
Kofi's always been that guy.
Well, he's like, I think this is the first time besides when he was champ that he's had a one-on-one title match. I'm pretty sure this is it. I know he's been in.
He's never got a rematch for it. This is his official rematch right here.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? So I'm excited that Kofi's in this spot, and I hope, even if he never wins another title again, like say, whoever, another heel.
Yeah, this is the write-off for Kofi. This is like, this is get your goddamn title match so you can shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so, but we all know, August 21st, in a full-out Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, this is a good point, too.
We're going to hear Goldberg.
You sorry son of a bitch.
Goldberg.
Fucking Nick.
But here, tell me if you. Granted, we never thought Goldberg would beat the Fiend for the title. I want to see Bobby be champion for long.
Yeah.
Only thing I like better about Goldberg and Bobby versus Goldberg and Brock is one thing. I'm very confident Bobby's going to win against Goldberg, but you never know. But with Brock, I wouldn't care if Brock was the one to beat Bobby because Brock's legitimate enough to obviously beat him in real life and WWE. But
and real quick, like to go with Matt, to go with Matt's comment here or whatever, that would, to what Nick was saying about Brock, that would kind of be an indicator that that has a possibility of happening. Because we know every time Brock went up against Kofi, like Beast in the East, and for their title match, lightning fast. And this could be the same thing because
Well,
it's Kofi.
you saw that promo that Bobby cut on Raw. I mean, he coming in serious. So Bobby Lashley's obviously winning, and I think Kofi Kingston will play the underdog babyface extremely well. Fans will probably get behind him, and they'll probably have moments in the match where they'll get you where you think he could win and everything. But at the end of the day, Bobby Lashley's he's gonna dominate.
I think Bobby's gonna win. I think this match is gonna be resembling the Dolph Ziggler Goldberg match actually in SummerSlam 2019. I think the bell's gonna ring, trouble in paradise instantly. Like, I think it's going to be something along them lines where Kofi's going to have the shot, but it's still not going to be more than like 7 minutes.
Yeah. Just like Matt said, he's going to kill Kofi quick like Brock did, and then him and Goldberg is going to have like a furious. If they go that fucking right, I hope they don't. If they have the Goldberg match, it's going to be all the matches here on out is going to be similar to what Brock did. So it's going to be quick with Kofi. It's going to just be an all-out brawl with fucking Goldberg, ultimately going over with Bobby. And then when him and Lesnar meet, they can point out the similarities and be like, oh, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and hopefully it's not goddamn Goldberg and Lesnar fucking WrestleMania 2020 or some shit, 2000 or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh,
WrestleMania 20,
yeah.
I mean, I don't have no issues with Goldberg coming back in wrestling, but why is this motherfucker always getting title matches that make no sense? I don't understand.
I saw Brian's face. You kicked him up right.
I had to kick you real quick. You'll be talking about Goldberg in a positive manner.
I don't know. No, like, cause I don't have issues with him coming. If he's gonna come back and wrestle, that's fine. But they always put him in title matches with no storyline buildups that make no sense. Like, he comes back in title match because he's Goldberg. That doesn't make sense. No. People have to remember too. The only reason I don't know about this Bobby versus Goldberg, bro, because people have to remember, man, Goldberg only wrestled 2 times a year, and he's never lost 2 times in 1 year. He already put over Drew McIntyre earlier this year. He really gonna lose twice?
And he gave him the dad hug.
Somebody else over. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people said that he was gonna lose to the Fiend, but I was like, I don't know, bro. Like, something telling me that something may happen with that. He beat the Fiend. I was like, bro, listen, bro. Yeah. Goldberg still got to look out for Goldberg at the end of the day, bro. Like, Goldberg's
exactly.
Like, man, I put over one of your guys already, bro, but I still got to be Goldberg, man. Like, I still got to do my thing too, bro. So I don't know, bro. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Bobby won, but it would not surprise me if Goldberg beat Bobby either. Like, I could definitely see it happening.
What you got, Brian?
First and foremost, Nick, 2 things. One,
fuck you.
That's right. First off, F you for bringing Goldberg back into the picture, and F you for thinking that Brock Lesnar would beat Bobby in real life. I'm sorry.
Real life?
In real life, no. Bobby would smoke his ass. Don't get me wrong.
Oh.
Brock is a beast. You're fucking with military right there. As a military guy, you should know that.
Hey man, we've known some weak ass bitches in the military, though.
How many of them look like Bobby Lashley?
They don't look like Bobby Lashley.
15 and
Bobby
3
Lashley. If people don't know, so Bobby Lashley, even though Bobby Lashley never fought in the UFC, he had a better MMA.
He has a way better record than Brock does. Way better. 15 and 3 record overall.
I know. Yeah, what? In Bell, he
just never fought in the big UFC. He was never UFC champion, but he had a way better. He was way better fighter than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, way better fighter than Brock Lesnar.
I think it's different. I think it's different strength or whatever, because it's just like Bobby looked like he is gym and object heavy, strong. Freaking Brock looked like he out there just looking spearing oxen and shit and power bombing apes and shit.
Brock's corn. Brock's got that cornbread strength.
Yeah, he does. But the problem is with Brock, Bobby's more disciplined.
Yeah, true.
With all due respect, Bobby's more disciplined.
Point accuracy, precision.
Yeah.
Plus, people also have to think too. Like, they're extremely similar in a lot of ways, bro. Like, they're both like the same height, same size, wrestling backgrounds, like exactly. It's like they're both like they're very similar. That's why people want to see the match, because they're just so similar in so many ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've said it for years.
Bobby doesn't have a cool little ponytail on his head like Brock Lesnar has right now.
That's right. But no. If that fight ever was to happen, like I always said, I don't care if it's in a ring, a cage, or in a bar. I want to see it. You know what I mean? Like, with all due respect, I want to see it. And
bring the fight pit.
Yeah, and then with all due respect to Brock, who's the one ducking the fight?
Brock.
Because it could happen. I mean, if they wanted to happen, it could happen right now.
It could have happened any time. It could have happened in Bellator. It could have happened in UFC, because Dana White was open to bringing Bobby in to fight Brock Lesnar. But It never happened. So to me, it looks like Brock's
even
always
in
been the one
WWE, even WWE still ducking it. He gonna make more money doing the fight in WWE than
So
UFC.
you know what I mean? They could have had this.
had-
They could have had this handled in many different ways at any time. One guy doesn't want to do it. One guy's been waiting for it for years. That's how I look at it as.
And to quote
Here's
Big
what
E,
I'll say.
and to quote Big E
Okay.
real quick, I mean, if you seen Brock in his most recent social media post, he's just a big meaty man slapping meat.
That's right.
Yep.
And people
Literally.
Here's what I'll-
like Brock
here's
has
what
that
I'll say
ability
about
where he
that.
can do whatever he wants, bro. So like if he wanted, if he really wants to come back, which I'm sure he may come back at some point, he's just chilling right now. But like he could call Vince right now and be like, hey, you know what? I want Bobby at SummerSlam. I'm sure Vince is gonna be like, all right, well, let's do it.
I'll tell you right now with Brock Lesnar, if I was Brock Lesnar, and I heard this the other day on Busted Open Radio, if I'm Brock Lesnar and WWE calls me, I let the phone ring. I don't answer that call because y'all need me a lot more than I need you.
Yeah.
Let that money go up. Because you know why? There's another guy down in Jacksonville who got a lot of money too who can make a phone call. As much as people don't want to believe that it could happen, it could happen. Brock Lesnar doesn't love pro wrestling. Brock Lesnar loves money. So for all the fans out there,
This is all
Brock
Tony
ain't
Khan
loyal.
has to do.
Brock.
This is all Tony Khan has to do. He's like, Dad, think I could borrow a couple mil?
you know what I mean? Don't forget, Tony's worth billions too. The people got to remember that. Tony's worth billions too. So to me, it's like as much as wrestling fans, or should I say WWE fans, want to be like, oh, it'll never happen. He's a WWE guy. It's possible. No one thought he'd wrestle in New Japan.
I don't know.
People
There
look
might be
different
some
though.
loyalty.
Brock's a WWE guy. He's not like a John Cena WWE
There
guy.
might be some
like,
loyalty. We don't know.
Loyal about the business. Like Brock Lesnar is a businessman. So I mean,
And my point in this life too, Rob's gonna hate this. There's only two people who would actively wrestle.
I got my finger on the button.
Okay, actually, I'll say one because he's retired. We'll say there's only one person who would come back for a match that he would definitely come back for just WWE. Besides The Rock, but I'm not. Cena's probably the only loyal one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not counting The Rock, obviously, like Austin, Taker, them, because they would. But Cena's still active. Like I'll consider Cena active. He's the only one that is definitely loyal to that company.
Yeah. And that's why I say people who are WWE loyalists will always say he won't do that. And then don't be shocked when he shows up. Look at Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. They were WWE diehards. They asked for $1 more. Vince said no. What did they do? They left.
That money, bro. Some people
money talks.
But we live in a different era today too, where it's more about creative control too, bro. And WWE doesn't give out that freedom of creative control like a lot of people do. So that's why a lot of people don't want to go there.
Yeah,
because like what Rob says about Taker, he doesn't. He wants him to be done and all that, but he respects a man trying to provide for his family, which I do. Mm-hmm. Look at Edge. He says it in his 24. AEW reached out to Edge
first
before WWE did.
Yeah,
and Edge, and I bet you Christian probably did the same thing. But I don't know what his money value, but he probably knew I'm going to get more really in AEW. One, getting over, two.
Christian is a different thing. He's just like want to be different anyway. So
yeah. So, but. And Edge, I can picture it. Edge was probably like, this is what they're offering me. And Vince was probably like, I will give you anything to stay. And that's why he said, if I was Brock, Vince, let it go a week.
But when I look at it though, like if it came down to it, no way Vince McMahon's gonna lose Brock Lesnar. He's gonna get Brock Lesnar.
Exactly.
No,
if Brock called him right now and said, you know what, AEW offered me this, he's definitely gonna make sure he keeps Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah. Oh, easily.
So let me ask you this, Brian, because kind of like the Edge way, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brock ever showed up in AEW. But say because I think Brock's last contract was 12.5. Say he got a call from AEW, said, "Hey, we'll give you 14, just a number, 14 mil, same whatever. I don't care about dates, just 14 mil, right?" Do you think Brock would, even though that's already higher, Brock's in negotiating this? Do you think he'd call Vince and say, "Hey, they offered me 15"?
Yeah.
And so he could get
easily
16.
Yeah, like I said, Brock's a businessman. Like say the number you threw out, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Vince doubled the offer.
Vince would drop 20.
Vince
right off the rip.
He would either drop 20 or double the offer.
He wanted like 30 or 40 when something like that.
And if you read the internet, here's the thing: leverage Brock has to use against WWE. So there were reports that they were getting him back. They're always talking, whatever. They want Brock to do house shows. Because at the point, house shows nowadays are over, and you're lucky. I forgot who said it. At this point, if you do a house show and you make your money back, like it's good. AEW doesn't do house shows. So Brock's going to come in Wednesday morning, leave Wednesday night, and probably do 2 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah. But you notice though, like every other year when he would redo a contract, he'd work more dates because they were paying him more money. So obviously they were like, you know what, we need you to work more dates. So he's like, okay, I'll work more dates, but you got to pay me more money. So they pay him more money.
Yep. So I don't know. He's
got to pay to play, baby.
I don't want to say he's a WWE loyalist because a loyalist is like Edge, someone who stayed. Brock's loyal because he knows he's going to get paid more by saying, like, if I was Brock, I might be an asshole for saying this, but if I was Brock and say AEW never called me, I'd say, hey, they called me.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Brock,
could. I don't know.
I said, Brock is a business person. Brock knows what he's doing. He's not a stupid guy. When WWE wasn't doing him right, what did he do? He ran to the NFL. NFL wasn't doing him right. What did he do? He went back to wrestling in New Japan. When wrestling in New Japan wasn't doing him right, what did he do? He go to the UFC. When UFC started screwing him over with all the drug testing, what happened? He went right back to WWE.
Well, I mean,
Brock knows what he's doing.
I want to do my drugs.
Yeah, but it was nuts because I was watching we were talking yesterday. I had it on view in the background, but the Ruthless Aggression series I was watching, and right when we finished, the Brock Lesnar one came out. So I just watched it. I was waiting for my girl to come home. I was watching it, and so I forgot who was saying it, but when they talked about him transitioning to UFC, that's literally Brock's life. He gets the fight, train from home. So what? Wake up, train for 3-4 hours, and then go in the backyard hunting or fishing.
Yeah,
really.
That's what you're paying him
That's
for.
the ultimate dream job that everybody wants, bro. Like he gets paid millions of dollars, still can be a husband, a father to his kids, and do whatever he wants. Has free time on his hands. Like who wouldn't want that lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? Like Brock, when he was first in WWE, the people have to look at too is that Brock was never a wrestling fan. He didn't know the business until he got into it, and he left the company because he didn't like the schedule and he didn't like the environment. So he left, came back with a bigger than he already was. And he got paid more money than he already was. And if Brock, I strongly believe this too. If Brock Lesnar had stayed in WWE and he was passionate about it like John Cena was, he would have top 10 greatest ever because he was already on the path. They were already pushing him to that level. So if he was passionate about wrestling like Cena was throughout those years, and he was dedicated to it and everything, he'd been top 10 greatest of all time because he was already on the level.
I'm gonna wrap it up with 2 things because first, I never gave my prediction on the match. I will say Lashley probably destroys Kofi, like everybody else is saying. Like B-Rob, you just said, they're probably on the same parallel as Brock Lesnar. And number 2, with the Brock Lesnar thing going to AEW, like Malik just said, one of the things that Brock hated about WWE was all the travel and dealing with the people in the back.
AEW has not that problem.
Does not have that problem.
Yeah,
it could be. Hey, who knows? He might go to AEW and it might re-inspire his love and passion for pro wrestling if that ever happens.
The only thing though is that with AEW wanted to deal with somebody like Brock though, because Brock does what he wants. So I mean, if they ain't gonna make him happy, then I don't know how he is. You just always hear stories about Brock does whatever the fuck he wants. So I'm saying I don't know if they would want that in that type of. I don't know if AEW would want that type of person in their environment.
And I'm gonna say
cash in.
Hey,
shit!
The man. But here's what I'll say. I'm gonna say one thing before we transition to the next match. I'm
gonna grab a beer while you do that. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a beer while you do that.
I said I'm gonna grab a beer, aka fuck what you said.
But here's what I'll say, right? And you guys can probably agree, no matter age, whatever. Rob did 16, 17 years in the military. I'm about to hit 10. We travel, we do all this, physically demanding, whatever, not all the time, right? And at 28, I joined at 18. I feel like I'm 58. I don't blame these dudes for not wanting more money because they're doing it however many days a year, going through tables, going through ladders, getting on small-ass airplanes, doing that. I don't blame them. Like, I look up every year. I always try to Google how much they make, and I think around this time of year they release the salaries. And when you see a dude like Kevin Owens, whom I think he made $1 million or maybe $2 million last year, my man's going through tables and ladders every week. Like, F that. Just F that. Like, F that. Like, I'm over here, and I run, and I'm like, yo, I'm done.
All right.
I give these dudes so much credit.
Yeah. Hey, Dan, before we roll into the next main event card, we're going to need your thoughts and opinions on what we already covered. Just give us a quick prediction, and we'll roll right along. The kickoff show, we got the Mysterios versus the Usos. Who you think going to pull that off?
I'm having connection issues. What'd you say? You need my thoughts on what?
Just real quick predictions so you can catch up with us. Mysterios versus the Usos. Who you think gonna win that for the tag team titles?
Usos, just
All right.
to add turmoil to eventual turmoil to the whole head of the table story.
Just like I said.
A little beefs and infighting. Jay has been down. Jimmy is the I'm my own man type guy. So Usos for the win.
All right. Viking Raiders experience War Machine versus AJ and Almost for the titles.
AJ almost nothing more to say. Viking Raiders are just fodder for a beat up.
All right. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair for the women's title.
This is too though Charlotte is perceived as the greatest in the world as far as women are concerned, perceived as this is going to be one of those shitbag matches where Charlotte's going to have to carry Rhea, and Rhea's going to have to lose.
Oof.
She hasn't done well with the championship so far.
And now currently we are on Bobby Lashley.
Lashley, what Kingston?
Yeah.
Sorry, Kingston. This might last a little bit longer than you versus Brock Lesnar,
See?
but but yeah, sorry, it is not Kofi Mania anymore, unfortunately. I seen a theory out there. Some posts was saying like there needs to be like some inner tension between the New Day. Though I don't agree with that needs to happen, still, that has nothing to do with him getting his ass whooped by Bobby Lashley. I've said it before and I say it again. Bobby needs to run with this championship for at least a
Till
year.
the wheels fall off.
At least a year, and then he has to drop it.
All right.
Yep.
So now we are currently. Go ahead.
Next, we got Edge versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. It's going to be a banger of a match for sure. I love that Edge has been on just in his return with the whole breaking the chair out, doing like crosslock with it. I think it's been great. But the writing's
Is the
on
logo
the wall.
on the face?
Yeah, the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall for SummerSlam, Reigns and Cena. But regardless, even if that wasn't even writing on the wall, I'm going with Reigns. Reigns is just way too hot to drop that strap. Reigns is gonna win here.
Word. What you got, Brian?
Of course. I mean, like it seems like it's becoming a common thread here, but I have to go with Roman. Roman has been on fire this entire year. Edge's plans are already predetermined, as we see him and Rollins at SummerSlam. Looks like it's going to be a thing, which I can't fucking wait for. And Cena's pretty much knocking on the door saying, "Are you sure about that?" So I'm going to go with Roman.
Word. Malik, what you got?
Roman, 100%. I think that Edge and Rollins definitely happens at SummerSlam. Maybe, I could definitely see Rollins coming out, costing Edge the match tonight, helping Roman go ahead and set up the match for SummerSlam. Then we get Cena versus Roman at SummerSlam. I think that Roman honestly can hold the belt up for 2 years, to be honest. I don't think he's losing that title anytime soon. I think WWE is going to make sure he has one of the most dominant championship reigns we've seen in a long time. And I think they're going to solidify him. Where years from now, people are talking about his championship reign as one of the best ever. So Roman definitely winning tonight. I'm looking forward to this match. I really want to see this match happen at WrestleMania, the one-on-one match. Even though the triple threat match was cool, but the one-on-one match between Edge and Roman, I was really looking forward to it. So definitely think this will be a show stealer tonight. So Edge, Rollins is going to be a banger at SummerSlam, but Roman, he's not dropping that title.
All right, Dan, what you got?
One point I want to say off of Malik's comments is I agree with Roman having a long run is because let's think about the years that Vince has been trying to make sure he got over. Make sure that this man got over on us. Finally found the gimmick that worked. Now you got to let it ride. Though I'm getting tired of the head of the table gimmick, he's going to win against Edge. It's going to be a good match, probably anywhere north of 25 minutes to 30, 40 minutes. But, Roman for the win. with the choke out, and that's that.
Word. Your man still up there talking through his teeth and shit. Just you go to hit him the teeth. You sound like when Macho Man used to grumble and shit. But, yeah.
No, don't disrespect Macho like that. Don't.
Hey, I'm just saying it's similarities. I ain't say he was on the caliber or the level. God damn it. You can be similar to somebody and not be as good.
This is true. But don't disrespect Randy.
Yeah, all right, I'm sorry. Right. I apologize. I humbly acknowledge the greatness that is the Macho Man, Randy Savage. What his name? Lenny Poffo, Larry Poffo, whatever the fuck his name
Right.
is. Yeah, so
let's remember we all gotta acknowledge Big Baby Jesus over Nick's bed too. Remember that.
yeah,
That's right.
Big Baby Jesus. Shout out to Big Baby Jesus.
He done seen a lot. He done seen a lot.
Acknowledge him.
No, wrong one.
No,
wrong
we
one.
talking about Jesus.
We're talking about
Hold on.
actual
There
Jesus.
you go.
Yeah, that
The boy
one.
got Jesus over his headboard over there.
The one that watch you stroking.
Like I said, he can't give you a round of applause, but he can just daggone.
Where my hands are set up,
Right? No holds.
I just hope it don't fall down on you one day, Nick.
Oh yeah, it's just like you doing
hope not
something
either.
blasphemous, and it's just going ah.
You hit it the
It's not
wrong
like I've
way.
been touched by God. You were.
Jesus seen a lot.
Jesus seen a lot.
You done seen a lot.
Yeah, but
What you got, Rob?
yeah. Oh, you trying to sweep this under the bed, huh?
Y'all want to ask? Are y'all feeling Roman Reigns' theme song? His new one. Y'all like that?
I like it.
I did not like it at first. Now I love it.
Yeah, it's a change of pace. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah,
But,
it didn't like it at first, but it's grown on me. It's grown on me.
It's because I finally acknowledged them.
Yeah, we finally acknowledged it. I mean, he beat us over the head with his greatness, and we just had to submit.
I mean, I've always liked Roman though. I just
Yeah, same here. I've always been.
I didn't like the period of time when they were shoving him down our throats, but I never disliked Roman. He's been cool.
Same here.
All right,
I wasn't. I'll be honest. I wasn't a Roman fan for a while. His improvements showed me different, but early Roman was not a fan.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Nick, which way you want to go? You want to go to women's Money in the Bank or the men's Money in the Bank?
So we'll do women just because it's here. So we got Asuka versus Naomi versus Bliss versus Nikki Cross, almost superhero, versus Liv Morgan versus Selena Vega versus Natty and Tamina. So my pick, I love to see someone like Selena win. She just came in, be hot, someone like that. But Rob knows this. My woman crush, like forever, is Liv Morgan. She's the other person I acknowledge.
She's the other person that watched Nick stroke.
Damn right, Nick. Dad, Nick.
Hey,
Nick.
Yeah, so well, just because she's been on a roll, you know what I mean? Like, Liv makes sense, so I'm going Liv. I want, like I said, biased opinion, favorite, lover, beautiful, all that. I'm going Liv.
Word. What you got, Brian?
Nick, you stole my thunder. I love Liv Morgan. Liv is my girl.
Do you need the diagram up there so you can see the pic?
I've been. Please do. I would love her to grace my screen. No offense to Mayor. No offense, Nick. Malik. B-Rock. You know. I'll gladly look at Liv Morgan all day long, twice on Sunday. But no. To me, Natty. I believe.
I'll say it later.
Yeah, Nick can tell you after. He's got a gloat.
Move cross country, Nick. Now, Natty and Tamina make no sense for this match. They're already holding titles in their tag team, so that cancels it out. I can see them giving it to Bliss just because it's Bliss. With all due respect to Zelina Vega, she's in that mode right now where nobody wants to admit it, but her man just appeared somewhere else, and we know how that goes. Asuka doesn't need it because she's one of the best in the division. Naomi could be a sympathy win in my eyes, just because of what's been going on with her.
Hey,
and social media.
We know how it goes historically. She got injured, she came back, got a title. She got in trouble, came back, got a title. The other one got in trouble, came back, got a title. They little click.
It's the history. Nikki, with all due respect to Nikki, I like the new character. I like the fact that she came up with this and she's doing her own thing. So I'm not against that at all. But I don't see her holding the briefcase. To me, the story has been lived from the jump. The fact that she couldn't get into the match. And then week after week, she's trying to get into the match, and then she's finally into the match. So whenever I see a sympathy story like that, I start thinking, okay, maybe you have the opportunity to win this. So or that's just a great
layers to the when they ultimately pull the rug out from under her fucking feet. She on the ladder. She about to grab the briefcase. Somebody swerve, knock off the ladder, take the a la Cody Rhodes and freaking
Damien Sandow. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? But to me, no, personally, I'd want to see it with Liv. I always say this when it comes to Money in the Bank, even though my pick later on, well, actually, my pick later on does kind of equate to this. But the Money in the Bank match should be to develop new stars. And even though SmackDown's women's division, like Malik said earlier, is really good and actually has depth to it compared to Raw, Liv, to me, has been someone that they were starting and stopping a lot. And now that the Riot Squad is officially out of her way, this is her opportunity to truly step forward and become her own star. So for me, I am 100% pulling for Liv Morgan tonight.
Yeah. And everybody, you know what? All right. I kind of almost feel like it's going to be I'm out of order, but I kind of feel like it's going to be a Raw competitor to win because of what all of you have said. SmackDown is stacked like the fuck, you know? And then I kind of feel like maybe after Money in the Bank, that's when they're going to start revealing more call-ups or, you know, yeah, Nick, I said that. I said call-ups. I didn't say a linear move.
You mean demotions?
Yeah. So, yeah. We'll see, though. What you got, Dan?
I like y'all Liv Morgan pick for whatever. But honestly, like in my wrestling heart of hearts, I would like to see Natalya win because
you never done it.
Veteran, because you know, she's the veteran and all that good stuff, and all the work that she does with helping these women get to where they are, like just a sympathy payoff. Naomi, they have enough black women on the top already, so I think they paid their penance. So
Poor Naomi.
But this is going to be unfortunately, it's going to be Alexa Bliss.
I believe it.
The cards, you know, it's written all over the wall. You know, she's on all the advertising for it, and yeah, I think unfortunately it's going to be her with this, you know, this bullshit gimmick that she's running now. So yeah, be prepared to get disappointed.
I'm with y'all, bro. I want to see Liv Morgan get it, bro. I've been begging for this woman to get a push for a minute. If it's not gonna be her, the only other person I can see winning would be Nikki Cross because the new gimmick too, and it's kind of got some steam. It has potential to get over. A lot of people. I did a video on it and said that, you know, this gimmick isn't bad. You know, it could get over because we've seen superhero gimmicks get over before. Hurricane, you know, Mighty Molly Holly, all those were over at one point. Yeah. And they need new, fresh baby faces on Raw, and you know that could be something right there. You know, it could be something for kids to look up to and for the role models for all that stuff. So, and she's been winning matches too. She's been featured a lot on TV. She's been winning matches on Raw. So I mean, I could see Nikki Cross, you know, getting the dub, but Nikki Cross and Liv Morgan. Those are my prediction. One of the two. It's one of the two. I don't know which one.
I forgot to say I like Nikki Cross a lot too, but. I guess.
Did you say Vicky Cross?
Yes, he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, he did.
All right. Yeah, I like that.
Love the new outfit. Love the new outfit.
So yeah, because it looked like she naked from the waist down.
There's nothing wrong with that,
Rob?
But all right. So to round this out, given the fact that she does have this superhero vanquish the evil gimmick, I believe it could be Alexa winning, or even if they don't win, I kind of feel like Nikki Cross and Alexa is going to go off and do their own separate thing. It'd be like a good versus evil, you know, Avenger fucking superhero versus the forces of evil type shit.
Thanos versus Superman or something. You know?
It makes sense because they were former partners.
Yeah, exactly.
They were running mates, so they
always tell that story between those two about something either they cool or they against each other. So. Eliminating those two. With that being said, I'm gonna go with the fan favorite of Liv Morgan.
I mean, if they want to make fans happy, Liv Morgan is the best bet.
That part what Malik said, but you know who I'm partial to. You know who I always got to pick in my heart of hearts. You know, it just warms the cockles of my heart.
That's right.
Say a name even. Let me make sure my wife not around.
You are listening to The Gentle Touch.
Check your phone too.
Yeah. Make sure Google not listening to me. Naomi.
Alexa, shut up.
Yeah, Alexa, get out of my match. I want to give it to Naomi. All right.
You gotta hit the button. You gotta hit the button.
Yeah, just give it. Yeah,
There
give
you
it to
go.
Alexa later is going to be Mrs. B. Rob. There's a message for you that he
Yeah.
wants to. Boop.
But I get a piece of Naomi and it's gonna finish off like this.
The thing goes.
I need to know who the hell sings that song. I gotta find those.
His name is Big. He goes by Big Shaq, and
Big
the song is Man's Not Hot.
Okay, I'm putting it on my Spotify right now.
And then next thing, Rob wants to take Naomi to the moon.
Yes, to the moon. Whoa! Yeah! All right, go ahead.
All
Nick.
right, next.
Just so you know, I did add it to my Spotify.
I'm gonna drop the video in the comments.
All right. Next, we got the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Riddle, Ricochet, John Morrison, Drip, Big E, King Nakamura, and Seth Rollins. I would literally be totally okay with anyone winning this match.
Exactly.
But Drew McIntyre. But, so my heart, kind of like what I was saying, I would love to see Ricochet finally get a push. But
yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go KO. I'm sticking with it. I want Big E, but for some reason I'm going KO. We all know it's not going to be Seth just because he pulled the briefcase down on Friday. So
right,
I want some KO.
What you got, Brian?
First off, Seth Rollins. I love the way he laughs. I will say this personally, as somebody who's followed Tyler Black from like the Indies, from like IWA Mid-South to Ring of Honor to Wrestling Society X, Seth Rollins is officially moving into my top 5 of all time. I am loving the new gimmick. I love the Drip Rollins. Rollins is so damn good at everything he does. I'm sorry. He's getting up there for me, like overall. With that being said, the smart money for me would be to pick Seth Rollins, but I'm not going to go that route because, like I said, you have Edge and him pretty much slated for, SummerSlam. When it comes to Big E, my heart goes to Big E, but my actual pick in this match is a guy who I feel like he's going to be rewarded for carrying Monday Night Raw, and that is Matt Riddle. I got to give it to Riddle on this one. I feel like you can give the feud with him and Randy a little bit more steam. Like I know you guys were talking about earlier, having RK Bro take the titles at SummerSlam, but what have we all been waiting for? Randy to turn around and RKO Riddle. This will be the reason why he would turn on Matt Riddle. As fun as RK Bro is, we all know how WWE is. Good things can't last. Ask the Hurt Business. But overall, I feel like Riddle has been carrying Monday Night Raw. The guy has been putting on great matches. He's the most entertaining portion of Monday Night Raw. He's probably going to get the loudest pop this weekend when he comes out. And with all due respect to Ricochet, who I think is a phenomenal athlete, with all due respect to Johnny Drip, who I feel like needs to get the fuck away from The Miz and finally have a great singles run on his own. And with all due respect to KO, who's a former world champion, I have to give it to Riddle on this one. I feel like Riddle would have fun with that briefcase, and it would be some of the greatest shit.
Rolling papers in it.
See, he keeps a stash in there. So you know what I mean? So to me, Riddle could do so much with that briefcase. I feel like WWE would make a mistake not to give it to him. I'm just throwing that out there.
You see that comment there that with like the Dr. Sebi advice on the side?
Oh, let me see.
You got somebody from the motherland trying to hit you with the Nigerian Lotto aid scheme.
There you go.
I mean, I keep my shit in my pants or my woman. It's one of the.
You got the ads popping up. We got the freaking spammers jumping in here. Y'all want some of this Herbalife tea or whatever the hell he's selling?
I mean, depends.
Put up Dr. Herpy.
Just do this. I don't trust anybody with a WhatsApp.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Who you got, Malik?
So the person I would love to see win would be Shinsuke Nakamura. I really love to see him take championship push. I've been a big fan of him since New Japan. Loved his NXT run. When it came to the main roster, won the Rumble, I thought he was going to, they were going to do him right. And they ruined that too. And him with the new King gimmick, it's all right, but I would love to see him win the Money in the Bank. John Morrison, Ricochet, do this in there for high flying, taking spots. Only reason they're in the match.
Jesus jumped off the top rope on Nick.
Kevin Owens, don't
He's
see
like,
Kevin
fuck, I
Owens.
gotta get this deal.
Don't see Kevin Owens winning. Seth Rollins, don't see him winning either. I do think that at some point, I think him and Edge have a match at SummerSlam, and then after SummerSlam, that's when we get the feud between him and Roman for the titles, or title, not titles. Honestly, though, man, to be honest, I said this at Hell in a Cell, bro. So when WWE has the tend to do things where they'll always do something that the fans want, but they'll always end up doing something that they want to do at the end of the day. And we all know they want Drew McIntyre to be in that spot. They just didn't put him in that spot because fans were rejecting him for a little bit. And I said something at Hell in a Cell. I said, you know what? Watch him lose the Hell in a Cell match, and then he wins Money in the Bank and goes to SmackDown and has that briefcase. And I can definitely see it happening because in WWE's booking logic thing, they're like, okay, you know what? You don't want Drew to beat Bobby. That's fine. We'll have Bobby beat Drew. But we're still going to push Drew, and he's still going to be one of our guys. So we're going to put the fucking briefcase on him, and then we'll move him to SmackDown. Now he's not on Raw anymore. He's on SmackDown. Now he has the briefcase. So he's not technically in the championship picture, but he has that briefcase. So you know that at some point he's going to be back in that championship picture. So I could see it happening. I wouldn't be surprised if Drew McIntyre walks around, wins that briefcase tonight. I think, I don't know, Big E, though, it could be big for Big E. I think he definitely needs that push. I think the point of him splitting up from the New Day was for him to get that push in the singles run. So, if not now, why not, win? You know what I mean? So, Matt Riddle, too. I can't see it. I can't see Matt Riddle winning it. I would be surprised, honestly, if he won it. I wouldn't be against it, though. I think what he's doing on Raw is fantastic, especially with Randy. But him winning, I couldn't see it happening. I would be really surprised if he did win it. So, for my pick, it's either going to be Drew McIntyre or Big E, one of the two. And I don't see two SmackDown guys or two Raw guys winning it. So, depending on which match is first, I don't know which one of the matches is going to be first. But say if the women's match is first and they gave it to Liv Morgan, then I would go with Drew McIntyre. If Drew McIntyre doesn't win it, then it'd probably be it'll be Nikki Cross or Alexa Bliss, one of the two. So,
all right, hit us with it, Dan.
Yeah, so I could see Shinsuke because of the whole Stop Asian Hate stuff going on right now, and just to prove
we gonna take it there, huh?
Just to prove Stephen A. Smith wrong that hey, you can be a champion with the translator. It's gonna be Big E, or I hate to say, just like Malik said, I hate it that they're gonna give it to Drew McIntyre again. I think he did what he had to do during the pandemic. That was enough. They don't owe him this moment in front of the fans. They don't own that. They don't owe him that. They don't owe him that at all. They don't owe us fans that at all. Big E is owed this, in my opinion. You give him the IC strap, you make him lose it like that. That quickly. When you propped him up, you was giving him this huge run with the IC title. Zap took it away from the next pay-per-view, almost, or pay-per-view or two away. They need to fix that with him eventually. Again, this is homegrown talent. This is talent that they've propped up and built. And we said it already, the reason why they were the number one tag team in WWE and all of that. Continue on that path and make this brother eventually the champion. Let him win the Money in the Bank. Though I do also like the Riddle pick, I'm sticking with Big E.
All right, quick question.
Riddle pick makes tons of sense.
Really quick, Rob, before you go, I want to ask Malik and Dan this question. Do you think if Drew was to win the Money in the Bank tonight, that crowd would turn on him?
Yeah, I mean, but people also have to remember too, though, man, is that I've done a podcast with a lot of people, and Drew McIntyre, they may not love him where we're at, but he's beloved in Europe because he's one of them. So I've done podcasts with people who are from London and from other places from Europe, and they love Drew McIntyre. They love him because he's one of them. So that's why he represents them. So even though if he wins to us, we're like, oh fuck, Drew's getting pushed again. He got a whole country behind him right now.
I agree with that statement. But I'm talking about, like, do you think the WWE fans in attendance, like, the reaction that he would get would probably be more sour?
I think if he wins,
don't you dare be sour.
It'll definitely be a mixed reaction. But you got to think though, like, people want Liv Morgan too. So does WWE really give us 2 Money in the Bank winners that we really want to see? You know what I mean? So like, I feel like they're going to weigh your options because, like I said, I've told people Drew McIntyre is going to be the champion again. He's going to be in that title picture. He's a main eventer. He's going to be in the main event spots. He's just not in it right now, but eventually he's gonna be in that spot again. So I just feel like I said, WWE tends to do things where they'll give us a little portion of what we want, but at the end of the day, Vince McMahon is always going to do what he wants too. So even though like Drew McIntyre may not be our guy, he's his guy. So Drew McIntyre is one of his guys that he's going to continue to push. Same with Roman. People didn't like Roman for all those years, but Roman Reigns was still going to get pushed because he's his guy. Main event 4 WrestleManias in a row. John Cena never even main event 4 WrestleManias in a row. You know what I'm saying? So the man is always going to give us a little bit of a mix. And that's why, when he lost the Hell in a Cell match, that's why I said, you know what? He put Bobby over. They did what they want to do with Bobby. So obviously they're high on Bobby, but they still want Drew to be in that spot. So they're going to be like, you know what? We had Bobby Lashley beat Drew McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre will give him the Money in the Bank because he's still going to be in that spot for us. So even though they may turn on him, something like WWE's going to care. They rejected John Cena for all those years. They didn't stop John Cena from winning all those matches. They rejected Roman all those years when people didn't want to see Roman in that spot. They don't care. You know what I'm saying they don't. That's why I said the heel babyface thing doesn't really matter because even though they hear the reaction that the people were saying, they didn't want Roman to be in that spot. They heard it for all those years, but WWE's like, he's our guy. Whether you like it or not, he's one of us.
Same thing with Cena.
So same with Cena. All those years, John Cena, okay. People respect John Cena. John Cena my favorite all the time, too. I grew up in the John Cena era, so that was my guy growing up. But all those years, he's beating all these guys. People are like, we don't want John Cena anymore. Give us something different. So they'll do a little different. Okay, CM Punk was hot for a little bit. We'll give you a little bit of CM Punk. But then John Cena comes back around, and he's back in that spot again. You know what I mean? So the same, I think, is going to be with Drew McIntyre. People don't want him in that spot now, and they did in the beginning, but he got over pushed in that spot, and now people are like, you know what, we don't want him in that spot anymore. He overdid it, but WWE now is like, you know what, he's in that spot now, and he's going to continue to be in that spot, and even though you may not like him, he has a country that is behind him, and we like him. So that's why I definitely say I wouldn't be surprised if he won. If the men's Money in the Bank match opens the show, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how they open the show, because obviously Roman and Edge is going to be the main event. So. Yeah.
I'm sorry, go.
And there's already been rumors going out there that Drew McIntyre is going to be switched to going. He's going to be put on SmackDown when the draft happens. So that's why I definitely could see him winning Money in the Bank. And he may be the guy to take it off Roman for all we know. People are always asking him who's going to be the one to throw in Roman. It could be Drew McIntyre, bro. It could be him right there.
They got beef. Yeah,
they owe him because WWE may feel like they owe him because he put
send Drew.
He put over other top guys on Raw, so WWE may feel like, you know what, we help you help put over Bobby and establish him on Raw, so we'll give you, we'll help, and if he beats Roman, that'll push him back into the top picture. So,
see why I don't
twisted though. Don't get this twisted. I like Drew McIntyre.
I do too.
He's damn good, but I'm tired of it already. I'm tired of it already. How many times did the title bounce back and forth on him during the pandemic? He gave us amazing matches during the pandemic era. But just like them throwing Ricochet in this match to say, here you go, thank you for your service, it's like, no, when are you finally going to give us what we want?
Yeah.
We don't want Drew right now. Give us somebody like a Ricochet. Give us a Big E. Hell, like you said, Brian, the Matt Riddle winning would make the most sense. And then you can then put it again. The Viper strikes again, comes back and takes the belt from his partner if he catches in and wins it. But Matt Riddle is just way too hot right now. I agree. He should win it, though I want to see Big E. But what's the name? And Drew, I can see again, this is where the WWE is going to lose. They can no longer pump in the fake crowd noise, yays and boos. So
they're still doing it. They're still doing it.
They still are.
They were doing it on SmackDown.
Yeah, they did it Friday.
Yeah, well, then they're going to have to drown the cheer. They're going to have to drown some of the boos with the cheers in the crowd on TV.
Yeah, we won't truly know for a long time because us sitting at home, we at the mercy of their production truck.
Drew McIntyre was in the WWE title picture for 15 months. So from WrestleMania 35 until Hell in a Cell, he was in every WWE Championship match on the pay-per-views. That's a long time. So that's why fans got so sick of him. But now WWE's okay. We'll that's why they put this stipulation in. So if Drew loses, he's not in the championship picture anymore. But technically, if he has the Money in the Bank and he wins it, he's still not in the championship picture right now. but he'll get back in it eventually when they're ready to put him in there.
Yeah.
See, the reason I don't think he's gonna win is because they want to give Drew that moment in front of fans. They did it at Mania, which was smart. But if you've been watching Raw, he's been feuding with Jinder. Jinder's gonna cost Drew this match tonight. Jinder's
So you mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. He's gonna because it's gonna set up Drew and Jinder
I can see that.
SummerSlam,
I can see
and
it.
because I thought originally, like I think I said to you before, I thought SummerSlam was gonna be Fiend and McIntyre because it's gonna get to the point once, but then the Fiend took some mental health time off, which is very fair. But it's gonna get to the point, I think, with the Fiend that if you're not fighting the title, just like Taker, you want to fight Taker. Well, now Taker's not there. You're going to want to fight the Fiend. So that's going to be a big match. But Jinder's going to cost it. At SummerSlam, I like Jinder. I was cool with him even being champion. But 95% of that crowd's going to go for McIntyre over Jinder.
You're just saying that because you were at the Punjabi celebration with me, all right? That's why you like Jinder. We saw them girls dancing. We saw all the drums. We saw the cool lights and all this shit. Yeah, that's why you like Jinder. Tell the truth, Nick.
But no, so I want to
tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Let me ask you guys this. So Roman,
What? Hold on, Nick. Hold on, real quick on your point with Jinder Drew. Once again, you're making too much sense to the WWE because you are putting two friends together that have a history, that have a story that's automatically there that they can build on.
And Drew can still have the briefcase.
That's
You
a
can still
finger
have
roll
Drew
that
have the
Vince
briefcase.
will fuck up. That is a finger roll Vince will fuck up.
Yeah,
you can still have Drew be. You can still have Drew be Money in the Bank and still have that feud because he's not in the championship picture right now.
True indeed.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right because then that gets the Money in the Bank. So let me ask
have
you
it
this,
for the
though.
case too. Have it for the
Hey,
briefcase.
God damn it!
So let me ask you guys.
And I still gotta get my pick.
Oh, go. Who you got?
God damn it!
I'm at work.
If it's before the title match, freaking Seth Rollins is winning. If it's after the title match, if it main events the show, KO is winning. That's all I gotta say. Now continue.
So wait, let me ask. So Roman went on like record, pretty much this. He rates this in my opinion. He's either gonna open the show or he gonna close the show. The day he's known, the days of him being like in the middle or over, he's the guy. I'm either gonna open show or close the show, which is fair.
This is closing. This is the main event of the Money in the Bank. Edge and Roman, 100%.
So you think so? Yeah. So do you think? Never mind that. So Seth's gonna have a role in that match somehow.
I'm sticking with my prediction. I think Seth Rollins interferes in the match, causes Edge the match because they've already been teasing that match happening. Yeah. What I want to see is what would make sense for me is that when they gave the match to Edge and they offered Seth to qualify for Money in the Bank, I wish Seth would have turned it down and said, you know what, I don't want to be in the Money in the Bank. Why do I have to fight in a Money in the Bank ladder match to climb the briefcase? I deserve that match. I deserve that championship match. I don't need to fight for Money in the Bank in that ladder match. That's what I want to see. And then he could have been like, you know what? You don't want to give me the match. You're disrespecting me. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm not showing up on TV anymore. Money in the Bank, whatever. And then at Money in the Bank, he would have come out, cost Edge the match, beat him down, whatever. Then you set up Edge versus Rollins at SummerSlam. That would have made no sense to me.
Right. Brian, what
you got, Brian?
I'm not a fan of Nick Rollins, but he has been phenomenal recently. I'll just give Malik the credit again here. He didn't have to be here. Set that shit up for later. Let him lose. Let him get all hissy fit out and just walk out the match.
All right.
And that's it.
What you got, Brian?
Men's Money in the Bank match goes on first.
That's what I think too.
I stick with my riddle pick. Post Bobby Lashley, Kofi Kingston, Goldberg shows up, spears Bobby Lashley,
and the
walks
crowd
up the ramp. Next thing you know, Riddle comes out, cashes in on Lashley, wins the title. We get Riddle versus Goldberg.
Nah,
Riddleberg.
I love it.
That would be the only reason.
I don't know.
Only two reasons.
Say it, Rob. Say it.
There's only two reasons that I
Rob.
would accept Big E being here. I mean, Goldberg being here. That's because Big E is in the Money in the Bank. He can win. It can be Big E and motherfucking Goldberg, and then it can be Big E and motherfucking. Riddle and motherfucking Goldberg. I'm flustered. You got me excited. My brain is all over the place. Hell yeah. I want Riddle and motherfucking Goldberg. But I will never see that I want Goldberg in a motherfucking match. But I want Big E and Goldberg or motherfucking Riddle and Goldberg.
Give me the horns, Rob.
Anything less is uncivilized.
It would never happen. Goldberg would never work Riddle ever.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I don't think First off,
We
Goldberg,
know a lot of things ain't happening, but it's what I want.
Exactly.
Goldberg
I'm
is
not
one of
telling you
those
it's gonna
legends.
happen.
Goldberg is one of those legends that has a little bit of creative control. That's why he beat the Fiend in the Saudi Arabia show, which made no sense. Why he beat the Fiend and became champion. We already know he don't fuck with Riddle to begin with because of the whole thing that he did. And even if he did face Riddle, he's definitely going to make sure he wins that match. And people don't want to see that either. So,
And like you said earlier, Goldberg needs a win, right?
yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, because he never loses 2 matches in a year. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I said, I don't have issues with Goldberg coming back. It's just that every time he comes back, they put him in a title match. Why does he come back and get title matches? There's no story there.
Malik, that is your issue. See?
That's true too.
The first step of admitting you have a problem is admitting you have a problem. That's your issue.
That's true too.
See, that's the thing. Like, that's what they're doing wrong with these people, bringing them back and always in the title.
It's just in a title. Like, if you brought him back to face, you could bring him back to face Riddle without a title. That'll sell right there.
But here's the thing that I realized, Nick, in why they consistently bring him back. It brings me back to when Vince McMahon said that he is having a problem getting over stars. The WWE, the way that they're still constructed right now, and the total control of the universe, as Brian mentioned, the God complex, they're not allowing it to happen because they're not allowing the wrestlers to be themselves. They're heavily over scripting them. And guess what? To get anything over, they have to continue to bring back the veterans. That's why Edge gets the pops that he gets.
And then
he doesn't need to be there. That man should be rested up, healthy, and taking care of his life and his family for good. Mm-hmm. But he has to bring the veterans back because they came from the era where they were able to make themselves. They're already over. They don't have to put no extra work into that.
And then also, this is where WWE is unique from any other wrestling company that I can think of. They have motherfucking shareholders. So,
yeah,
there you go.
The reason I'm always saying they need to build new stars is because these part-timers aren't going to be around forever. So when guys like Goldberg, Edge, Cena, when they're officially retired, we're going to rely on them because they're gone now.
I beg to differ about the forever part.
I'll say this.
Definite.
I'll say this really quick, Malik, because you probably never heard me say this, but WWE needs a systematic change. It's not about the talent. It's not about the products. It's about the way that the company is ran. When it comes to the creative direction of this company, it is the same thing every week for the past 20 years. It's been promo, opening match setups, screwy finishes, all of that stuff. No one is ever allowed to succeed because Vince does not want them to succeed. He cuts it off.
It's more of a global money company now.
It's more of a global company.
Back in the Attitude Era, WWE was on their last leg fighting for shit. So they could do pretty much anything they want on TV because they have nothing to lose at this point.
I'll say this really quick. Just based off the story I just gave you, right? What are you more excited to see? Matt Riddle versus Goldberg or Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley?
Matt Riddle, because there's heat there. There's heat there.
Exactly, but we will not get that.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's a systematic problem. They can never develop that new star.
That I've always seen veterans like, Cena or Taker or somebody, other veterans that come from those eras saying that, wrestlers need to go out there and take risk or go off script on the promos, but these wrestlers probably are scared to because it's a systematic system now. So they come from an era where maybe a CM Punk could be like, you know what, I'll do a little bit of the script, but I'm gonna throw out my own shit in there and do my own little thing in there too and make it work, and it would work. But now nowadays they're afraid to do those things because they feel like they may get in trouble for that shit.
Well, because here's how long that this has been a problem. Let's remember Triple H. He had that King of Kings shit because he was quote unquote punished, I believe. Mm-hmm. Let's see. What happened with what's homeboy's name that fucking slid under Titus O'Neil? He touched Vince McMahon's arm, and they got suspended, got buried because he grabbed them, out of joy. It wasn't even nothing malicious.
London smiled at Vince and got fired.
You see what I'm saying? The God complex. That God complex is what's been it's what not ruining them, but has been a part of the problem because he has to have total control. If he brought it back to the quote unquote just the attitude era, their attitude era, and said, get out there and get over, no script. Here's what you have to hit in your promo and just let it go, and they'll be fine. perfect example of that. The rain delay at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Every single person loved the fact that they all came out, cut their little promos for the match that was coming during the rain delay because they didn't know what to do. They just said, go out there and do. If they allowed that back on a weekly basis, the game would change.
Yeah.
They pick and choose too, and it's an unfair environment to some people. You know what I mean? That's why some people feel like they can't do certain things. Because I told people from the beginning, you know, when the Shield was together, I told people that Roman was going to be the next guy. People didn't see it, but I was like, he just has the look that WWE wants. He just has the whole package and look that they want. He's going to be the next guy.
What's the heritage?
And the heritage too. It's all there. He was going to be next in line, and now look at him now. Roman Reigns has the things where, you know, if Roman Reigns wants to switch things up, he has a little bit more creative control than a Ricochet or somebody else in the mid card. You know what I'm saying? Because he's one of their guys. Same with the John Cena. No, John Cena has more creative control than other superstars. So other superstars may feel like they can't go out there and do what he does because if John Cena fucks up, he's not going to be punished for it because he's John Cena. So there's nothing you can do. When that time when The Rock was on TV and he went off script and he went to the fans and he was talking to the fans and everything, they said Vince was pissed when we went backstage. Well, what is Vince going to say to him? He's the fucking Rock. What are you going to say to him?
Here's the thing. The best way I can wrap this up and say it is you can't have trust in somebody if you never give them the opportunity to earn it.
To be even trusted.
Or give them the opportunity to fuck up.
That's why some of those guys succeed too, bro. Look at Steve Austin. Came in as the ringmaster. Then Vince, he did his whole Stone Cold thing. Cuts that Austin 316 promo. Vince like, you know what? You got something here. Let's go with it. Fucking one of the biggest stars you've ever seen in the company. So
because that goes back to what I mentioned. They were allowed. They were allowed to step out.
Well, allow me to end this damn show so I can go get some shit done, goddammit.
Perfect cut. I got 12% on my computer too, so I was about to be out. So perfect.
Yeah, so man, obviously if I didn't have shit to do, we can go forever, which I love to do, but I can't. So before we ride out of here, Malik, you the newest of the group here. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media and all the shit that you got going on.
Appreciate you guys for having me on. Social medias, all Narcolepsy Boy 94, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all Narcolepsy Boy 94, YouTube as well. I do got a bunch of stuff coming up for my YouTube channel. I do a bunch of drafts and everything, a bunch of stuff for like Jeopardy, WWE's for the fans and everything who subscribe to my channel. So appreciate you guys having me on. Always a pleasure talking wrestling, man. Fun chats. Looking forward to Money in the Bank. So love to be back on again sometime, man. If you guys ever want me as a guest, just let me know.
Slow down and say your socials again because
slow down. Slow down.
Social media is Narcolepsy Boy 94 for everything.
Narcolepsy Boy 94.
Narcolepsy Boy 94. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that same social media. Narcolepsy Boy 94.
Narcolepsy has to do with some sleepy stuff or whatever, but you is woke than the motherfucker on here, boy.
Woke today, yes, sir.
Dan, what you got?
You know what to do. The Star5podcast.com, the Star5 _podcast on Instagram. Fuck Twitter as always. If you're on Facebook, join the Starting 5 Podcast Facebook group. We go in on a little bit of everything: sports, politics, hip hop, pro wrestling, funny ass memes. It's a chill environment.
I have reposted a lot of your memes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's it.
Brian, what you got?
UWO podcast as always. We will be live tomorrow on Facebook, doing a raw watch along, plus going over Slammiversary and Money in the Bank. Catch us on TikTok. Catch me on TikTok, UWO Brian 401. I got some funny shit I'm gonna be doing pretty soon. I just saw some new shit. I'm gonna do that. And just catch us on Facebook. That's the easiest way to reach us right now.
And Nick got the catchphrase now that he brought up yesterday.
Follow the name.
Hit us with it.
Follow the name.
Follow the name.
And then,
Nick Anaselli on all social media.
And then Malik, if you ever do one of them Jeopardy trivia things again for wrestling, hit me up. I want to try that.
I want in. I want in.
Yeah, I'm a big trivia dork when it comes to wrestling.
I got you. I do.
Those guys over there, they got the brain for that shit. I don't remember enough shit to be winning.
Just leave it. If I do it, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Who's coming in
second? I'm making my
Burton.
trivia hard though, bro. So I mean, I'll be digging deep.
You ain't never seen one of my trivias. Trust me.
I'll smoke check you.
Word.
You sure, Nick?
You sure, Nick? I have to hit you guys up, see your availability, but we'll definitely make it happen.
Word. Yeah. So On behalf of
Hello.
myself, Nick Anicelli, Brian Lopez, goddamn Dan the Mayor, goddamn Malik, Narcolepsy Boy 94, I believe he said, because he said it really fucking fast.
Yeah.
That is it. We are gone.